Well, I told you there was going to be a Tory civil war, and after yesterday we got Swilla Braverman's comments against Robert Jerrick. The last thing I was expecting was these leaks to come out about the first shadow cabinet meeting. And the next video that we'll be doing will be about what's going on in the 1922 committee, with the Tories claiming that the elections of the 1922 committee have been fixed so that they can appoint clearly a appointed, or should we say, picked successor for Rishi Sunak. Needless to say, the Tory civil war, ladies and gentlemen, is in full swing, and I was spoilt for choice about which one to do first. But don't worry, we will be doing both these things. So first, we're going to go into some of the leaks that happened about the first shadow cabinet meeting and apparently what went down. And apparently, from what we know, Braverman ripped into Rishi Sunak, like savagely so. To a point where it's now like, oh, okay. Remember when I think it was a couple of months ago where we said that there were a couple of Tories who had said that if they want to do well in the future, they had to sort of position themselves away from Rishi Sunak and seen as quote standing up to him. Well, here you go. This is Braverman ripping in to Sunak, and of course James cleverly trying to apparently calm the situation down, although apparently failing quite spectacularly as well. But not only was she just attacking Rishi Sunak, but she also had some very choice words for what would be her potential rival, of course, Suella Braverman. So Kemi Badenoch just attacking everyone, apparently. And this isn't even going on about what's happening in the 1922 committee. Like I say, if you want to see that video next, do hit the bell button so you'll see it when it comes out. And of course, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. There's the Patreon page, there's the Buy Me a Coffee link, all that good stuff down below. We did a live stream for the 100th Pony Club episode today as well, so go watch that. That is available for everyone, regardless of whether you support the channel or not. So go give that a view, give that a watch. And like I say, thank you to everyone who does help support the channel. Again, I never thought we'd get to 100, but hey, here we are. But of course, on with this, because oh my word, I have been telling you just how brutal this is going to be, and this really is now setting the stage for it. So this came from the Independent, with cleverly says the Tories need to quote get their act together after Badenoch rips into Sunak. So former Home Secretary James Cleverly has now warned the party needs to get its act together after the Tories were now hit with a damaging leak from the shadow cabinet. Gee, I wonder who leaked this info. I wonder who leaked this info. We'll never know, of course, but I'm sure there are probably a lot of people sitting in that shadow cabinet who would love to damage Kemi Badenoch. Hence why they shall we say leaked these things, because they are very, very damaging leaks directly, of course, against Kemi Badenoch. Gee, I wonder who leaked these. You've got a very short list of leadership contenders who, of course, are going to be against Kemi Badenoch. James Cleverly, certainly one potential leaker. And again, wouldn't surprise me, even Robert Jerrick, maybe also potentially someone who could have leaked this stuff. But like I say, it's all kicking off in the Tory party. Anyway, leadership frontrunner Kemi Badenoch hit out at a rival, Suella Braverman, saying that she appeared to have, quote, a very public nervous breakdown as the Conservative front bench met for the first time since losing power. Oof. Oof. Again, I don't like Suella Braverman, but I'll tell you what, saying something like that, yeah, so much for the civil and friendly conversation that Suella Braverman wants to have. Although, bear in mind, we all saw yesterday how hard she hit out at Robert Jerrick. So, She's also now reported to attack Rishi Sunak's decision to call an election, calling his choice to leave the D-Day commemorations early disastrous, and said that her colleagues, including Penny Mordaunt, would have kept their seats if he had stayed longer in France. To be honest, I think Kemi Badenoch is jumping for joy at the idea that Penny Mordaunt lost her seat, because there goes one of her main contenders. But, she's not in Parliament anymore. She's not your direct competitor. So, she's probably only going to have very nice things to say about Penny Mordaunt from now on. Cleverly also warned his party against now this bitter infighting ahead of the race to replace Mr. Sunak as leader. This is how exactly we ended up here, he wrote in the Times. He added, "We must now get our act together. We need to unite in order now to deliver. We will take humility and hard work to try and recover our reputation for competency and integrity, to rebuild trust in our party, and to unite behind a broad platform that will give people a reason to vote Conservative again." Good luck trying to achieve that anytime soon. It's certainly not happening this decade. So, at the first Shadow Cabinet meeting on Tuesday, the Shadow Housing Secretary now hit out at the former Prime Minister's decision to call an early general election without informing his cabinet, describing the move as a mistake bordering on unconstitutional. She accused Mr. Sunak of instead telling a very small group of his colleagues, including his parliamentary private secretary, Craig Williams, who she then said to have called a buffoon after he admitted placing a bet on the election. The Times is also reported that Badenoch is now concerned with the enormity of the Conservative Party's landslide defeat, and is not being grasped by some colleagues, and said that she's now urging a thorough post-mortem with lessons now to be learned. And I don't think there's a lot of the Conservatives really understand the scale of their defeat. I will agree with Badenoch on that. Yeah, there are a lot of Conservatives. We've seen some of their what went wrong, things. But there you go. Sunak had now reportedly opened the meeting with an apology. And then this is where it actually gets even more funnier. Badenoch's remarks came out after a number of shadow cabinet ministers paid tribute to Mr. Sunak, with the shadow chancellor Jeremy Hunt praising his, quote, work ethic and dignity and commitment to public service, which he said had prevented the party suffering an even worse defeat. Really? You think it could have only been worse? Ooh. Don't threaten us with a good time there, Jeremy. A source then told the Times of their surprise at how Badenoch had ripped into Sunak despite his apology. And of course, a tantalizing piece for our next video. Meanwhile, of course, furious Tory MPs have now claimed that there is a plot to determine who replaces Rishi Sunak after controversy over the election of the new chair of the very influential 1922 committee. Well, don't worry about that, because we'll be getting to that in the next video. Meanwhile, of course, these comments very, very selectively leaked, very, very damaging against Badenoch, because you don't hear what the other shadow cabinet had to say, just what Kemi Badenoch had to say. Gee, those are some real tactical leaks there. Whether these will hurt or hinder Badenoch in the future, we don't know. But one of the things that Tory MPs have continuously said, and their problems and their worry about, obviously, Badenoch becoming leader, is she would be under pressure. And she has not been one to, well, as we say up in Yorkshire, mince words. And as an MP, you've got to sort of hold yourself back sometimes. You've got to sort of be very careful about what you say in your position. This has been brought up numerous times of even like Conservatives criticizing Badenoch about this, and this is very, very much seems to have come to the fore, during this cabinet meeting. But what others had to say, did they defend Sunak? Did they join in? Did they rip into Sunak as well? We don't know because no one else is saying anything, except, of course, that Badnoch really ripped into Rishi Sunak. But make no mistake, right now, that could have also been a very, very tactical choice as well. After all, who's to say that the leaker wasn't Kemi Badnoch herself releasing these comments because she wants to be seen as someone who stood up to Rishi Sunak's bad decision making? Who knows? But hey, we said yesterday the Tory civil war was getting hot. Well, uh, it just got even hotter in the Tory civil war. And oh, wait until we do about the 1922 committee. But that's the next video. So, as always, thank you very much for all the support that you guys show. Please do click on the like, the share, leave a comment down below as well as what do you think of these comments. Do you think they were tactically leaked? Who do you think the leaker was? And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.